involved, whether there's a firearm or not, it seems like video games always come up. Like that's
Yeah.
always like the pleasant scapegoat, right? Like who, like there was some politician, I don't know how many months ago, who also like tried to introduce some sort of legislation in Illinois or something like that
Mhm.
recently, talking about like Grand Theft Auto and how it's causing people to,
Yeah.
go
Who's the
into
original
carjacking.
guy? The original guy was what was his name? Chad will probably know it. But yeah, every few years you get some idiot that does that. What's great about it is people are, Kyle's response was amazing. Like, sir, that's a video game. Like, there's no way that
Yeah.
didn't, like, Jack Thompson. Thank you, chat. Yeah.
Okay.
But there's no way that didn't, there's no way that there weren't people in the jury that were like, like that,
Yeah, for
even because
sure.
today's 40-year-olds, this is like, seems like a obvious statement to say like water is wet, but today's 40-year-olds, old people,
Hmm.
we grew up playing these games.
Yeah.
So, and we're the ones that are getting on these juries now. You don't see a lot of 18-year-olds, stuff like that. So, like, there are people in their 50s now that grew up playing Doom and Wolfenstein, and that's going to fall epically flat on them, when you try to say, you were out there trying to play video games, weren't you? Weren't you trying to play Call of Duty in real
Yeah.
life? That was I think an epic fail from Binger, one of many.
Yeah. And it's like, it's one of those, and I've done some videos on video games too. And I know you have as well. We could totally do a side conversation about the Activision Blizzard scandal that's going on, which seems to be
You know how
getting
many
worse and worse by the day.
Yeah, and it's funny how many lawyers are contacting me who are cooking up these class action lawsuits asking for my sources and stuff like that.
Interesting.
Because it is spicy, because if he knew, they'll lose that lawsuit because the money
Yes.
these investors lost, like, and if they can prove that he knew, and I strongly suspect based on what employees have told me, it's
Yeah.
going to be a big one. Yeah.
Yeah. And so for anyone that's watching that isn't familiar with what we're talking about, so Activision Blizzard, which is one of the biggest video game companies or studios or whatever. So I always knew of them because they have their headquarters in Irvine, which is not far from where I grew up.
Yeah.
Or one of their headquarters, I guess. So they've been long in the hot seat with the way that they treat their employees and
The
have their
workplace
labor
culture.
relations. And
Yeah.
yes, exactly. Workplace culture has been a very hot topic for a long time. And so there was the state of California, the Department of Fair Employment and Housing, filed a not a class action. It's kind of like a class action case, basically alleging all kinds of crazy allegations about cube crawls where men were drinking at work and going from cubicle to cubicle, commenting on women and harassing women and all that kind of stuff. And that sounds outrageous, but it's kind of like one of the lesser outrageous things going on there, I guess.
Yeah.
According to the allegations, right? But it's like the story's just been getting crazier since then. And now the CEO, Bobby Kotick, there was an article that came out that said that that apparently he knew about all of these issues and never did anything about it. And that, I agree, that's a huge deal, because not just for the civil lawsuits having to do with harassment themselves, but now he's also got a breach of fiduciary duty.
That's going to be the big one.
Investors are going to be pissed.
And their stock they've lost billions in market cap this year.